and welcome to another episode of Our Point of View, Up Close and Personal. Today we have with us Miss Rachel Wilson. She is an amazing gospel artist. Good evening. How are you, Miss Wilson?
Good evening, everyone. God bless you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you again for the opportunity.
We're so excited to have you here with us. And we know you have a newborn, so we're going to jump right into the interview, okay?
Okay, that sounds great. Yes.
Okay, so first talk to us a little bit about your journey to becoming a gospel artist.
Well, definitely, I'll give you the short version. Definitely, as I spoke earlier, I've been singing, honestly, from the age of 5, and I think I hear that a lot with different gospel artists or ministers or anybody such alike. Many times they'll say the age of 5. So 5 was my power number. That was my magic number, if you will. I started at the age of 5, and it was just through listening to my mother play music with gospel, phenomenal, multiple Grammy Award winner, Stellar winner, Pastor Shirley Caesar. So I was listening to one of the greatest, and that was something that just inspired something on the inside of me to want to listen to her music. And so from a result from that, my mother began to recognize that I had a gift to sing and began to put me in the choirs and, singing for Easter and being in plays. And I ended up being a lead singer in the first group, which is the Love Sisters with my 2 sisters. And so that just started and changed the trajectory of my life in the area of ministering as an artist. And then I released my first single in 1997. And I laugh when I say that because that was a long time ago. When you say the 90s, the 90s is really not that far away, but it seems so far-fetched when you say, I started in the 90s, but my first single was released in 1997. And all of that just catapulted me in a realm of being that gospel artist that God was establishing as a psalmist to minister to the body of Christ. And from there, I ended up with other albums and so on and so forth. And it just kept growing. And now I'm here now and I'm signed to DAF Records. So I've skipped a lot. I'm signed with DAF Records, and God has blessed Warner to do the distribution on this piece that's going to be coming out. So it's a whole lot that God has been doing. And I'm just fortunate to be a part of the good news, sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Well, that's great. That's great. So tell me, what is your take on the gospel industry?
Oh man, well, I have it's many things dealing with the gospel industry. As a little girl, I've always desired, and it's something about when you have a desire to, or a call rather, to do a thing, God will place that passion and that desire in you. So as a young girl, I always had a desire to be on the Stellar Awards, the Grammys. The Grammys wasn't, at that time I didn't see gospel artists get Grammys, but I was very connected with, I just loved anything dealing with any gospel artist. I was on the video. I had the VCR at that time, trying to watch and make sure we pre-record the show so I can see Kirk Franklin, Yolanda Adams, and everyone else. And to make a long story short, through the years of seeing gospel music and gospel artists, there's been a dual perspective, if you will, because on one end, I've seen artists do very, very well, in the gospel industry as far as singing and getting Grammys and Stellars and getting the highlight and the fame. And on the other end, I have not seen the establishment of the integrity. And so my take is one perspective, because it's a dual perspective, is that we as gospel artists, and I pray that, even some of us that's listening out there right now, that your primary focus and goal is to have character and integrity. Thank God for the Stellar Awards. Thank God for the Grammys. Thank God for all the nominations with the Dove Awards. I believe God wants the best for all of his people. And just speaking of the gospel industry, God is the one that created all of this. So he created it with success in mind. But I believe, just like building a house, what is a house with huge windows and a third level and a fourth level, and a ground level without a foundation? I want to encourage everyone, even gospel artists that are listening to this, and listen, our primary focus should always be the foundation. The foundational thing we know is the word of God, and God word is integrity. It is character, and we have to keep that. So I said all that to say this for myself. My main goal is not a Grammy. My main goal is not success. It's not the lights. It used to be that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to have the mindset of just wanting the spotlight and be seen and hit those notes perfect where people could clap for me in church. But I was a young lady desiring that. But as God began to shape me and mold me and allow me to be broken through the years to show me it's not about that. It's about preaching and teaching. His soul's tied to your voice. I became more mature in the spirit to understand it's not about fame. It's not about me. In fact, every song release is not about you. It's about the next person. It's to save much people alive. And so I say that because my primary focus is having foundation and character and integrity. And that's what I want to exude. That's the projection I want to release in the world, even through music. If they hear a song that they like, if you tonight you listen to my voice and you say, wow, that's a powerful song. But I want, if you walk in, you bump into me at Walmart, you say, wow, she have integrity to match that song. So that's most important to me. And that would be my dual perspective and my take on the gospel industry.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. Right. Well, you know what we did? We've actually put one of your videos up to
Wonderful.
Come in here. The video is Give Love.
Yay.
About that video.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm excited about that. And the video came from a place of when 9/11, I said 19, when 9/11 erupted. I don't think anybody forget that. That was in New York. The Twin Towers were taken down, which was really the heartbeat of America falling to her knees. And when that happened, it literally changed the world, the nation of America.
Yeah.
Really hit us financially, socially, economically. It just was a major hit. And with all of that taking place, I remember the Lord giving me that song. The burden hit my heart. And I began to say, Lord, help America. Give us love. Help us to get love and come back together. And that's what God did in a nutshell. He put that song in my heart along with my husband. We both co-wrote that. And then we released a video, which I don't know if you was able to see or not,
Yeah,
but that was the passion of Christ in that. Yeah.
Yes, I saw the video. Yeah, that was something. Yeah.
I hope it was touching to you because it was not a video for myself to display me. It was a video for the nation to come back together. And I believe that the answer will always be love. If we can love each other, if we can forgive each other, what a strength and what a powerful nation we will be if we just come back to the small things and begin to love and care and support each other again.
Right, right. So now let's talk about the new song that you have coming out called
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So anything, and I want to encourage everyone that's interested in the drop of that through Warner Distribution. Praise God. We're excited about that. And we honor God for that. Check me out on my social media at Rachel Wilson 44. All of my social media tags are the same for Twitter and all of them. And you will be able to find out the exact time it's going to be released. So please stay tuned. But anything was written by world producer and world-renowned artist Carnell Morel. And I was really fortunate from the Lord to be able to sing on that piece. I have to struggle with him. He didn't want to release that song, but I believe in the spirit. That song belonged to me. I was supposed to be the voice behind that music. And one reason why I wanted that particular song, because the song says, I can do anything. And so the song is called Anything. That's really the essence of how I live my life. That is how I'm wired. I believe with all of my flaws, with everything I've been through, with all I did not get handed to me, that I'm still a candidate for a miracle, and I can, and you can do anything. So that song to me is a prophetic anthem. And it will be, I believe, a prophetic anthem for this nation and the world abroad, letting the world know that, listen, the pandemic cannot stop our anything. Death cannot stop our anything. If I'm still here, I have a will and I can do anything. So it really just speaks to my spirit and every fiber in me to let me know that, you know what, Rachel, there is no stumbling block. What is a stumbling block? What is a pothole? I can do it. If I put my mind to it, if I believe in God and I put him first, guess what, America? Guess what, world? I can do anything. So I'm just so ecstatic. I'm so excited about what God is going to do with anything, because again, it's not for me, even though it blesses me and it helps me. But I believe God released that song for the nation to hold on again. Let's get focused again. Let's get back in the boat. Let's rear this thing in. It doesn't, let's not allow a pandemic to be greater than everything that God put in us. There's still some everything and anything that God has placed in us that has to come out, but we have to stay focused. We got to move forward. And guess what? You can do anything. So be blessed when it come out. You're going to be so excited.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear it. Now, is there an art? I know that you said that you're, you were inspired by a lot of different artists and all, but is there one gospel artist that you would love to do a song with?
Oh my God, so many. It's a plethora of gospel artists that I really do admire. But definitely, I got to go back to Pastor Caesar. I'm a Pastor Shirley Caesar fan. I love her. I love her because primarily her character. She preach at a level and she sing at a level, at a depth her character hold her to. So I'm really a more result person. I get, that's really where I love that. But I also love, I don't know if you heard of Jacqueline Carr, Mary Mary. I love the vibe of Mary Mary because they have the gospel message wrapped up in some fly beats. I love fly beats now, but it has to have a message to it. And so what I love about Mary Mary is that they got the flyest beats to me. I mean, really, I just love their style and their persona with their music. But dancing on the top of that is the word of the Lord, and it's something pertaining to inspiration that is godly. It's all, to me, I just love it. It's God, whether it's I'm going to heaven or get the shackles off your feet, whatever they're saying, it's in a fly way. And so I love that. And then again, it's so many, Donnie McClurkin, Yolanda Adams. It's so many of them. It's a plethora, like I said, of all of them. But just to name a few, I would definitely say Jacqueline Carr and Mary Mary. Amazing. And let me not forget to say, one of my favorites is Adrienne Freeman, and she's the lead singer of Risen, which have came back out. Actually, they re-released Risen again, and I'm signed to DAF Records through her. So God has blessed me to be connected with her, but she really is a major inspiration. I really just love her churchy sound. And honestly, I tell her when I do get a chance to talk to her, I say, you remind me of a little Shirley Caesar, but she really does. She got that real deep churchy lady spirit, but she's amazing, amazing singer that can squall and holler powerfully for this generation.
Okay. Sounds good. So now you do other things, like you're a life coach.
Absolutely.
What made you decide to get into being a life coach?
Well, again, coming from a single parent home and being a young girl that, sometimes you can go through situations as a young girl. I didn't know that we were poor until I knew we were poor. Sometimes kids at school tell you you're poor. I just knew I came from a great background and family, but I did notice I didn't have a father because the father was out of the picture at the time. And I remember some of the breaking moments and the broken moments coming up as a young lady. And as a result of that, as a result of being broken, those things begin to shape you as a child. And I began to struggle with different things, my image. And to speed it up, when I became a young lady and made it through all of that, I began to have a passion that gravitated to other young ladies. I began to mentor them and coach my best friends out of things and into things that would better their lives. And when I got older and got married to my husband, who I honor, thank God for my husband, Pastor Ronald Wilson, as well. I honor you. God bless you. And on everyone else that has supported me, God bless you. I had a desire then to say, you know what, maybe I can become, and this was primarily from God. He put that in me. He said, Rachel, you're a life coach. You've been coaching women for over X amount of years. He said, why don't you go to school to get certified? And a lot of times we're already called to do a thing. And I want to say this to someone out there. You're already doing it. You're already being the caretaker. You just didn't get your credentials. And so I already was doing the life coaching. I just wasn't certified. And when you're not certified, many times you don't get paid. So the Lord was putting that on me. He's like, you're already doing this. It's the passion in you to do this, but go get your papers, go get certified. He was like, do what you're passionate about, but also he was like, get paid too, you know, because you're spending 3 and 4 hours with women, and then you don't have money. I mean, back in the day, I didn't have gas money to get home. So make a long story short, it came out of passion. I've been doing that for over probably now going on about 7 years, 6 to 7 years. I've been certified life coach, and it is so amazing. My husband have to make me get off the phone. I literally can be on the phone coaching and just listening to someone, what they go through, and just motivating them and encouraging them and coaching them to their life, that I could be on the phone for hours. But my husband will always remind me, sweetie, wasn't that an hour session? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, babe. Because my passion, when you're passionate about something and you're changing lives, you literally could get lost into that world of passion to help others. So it has been amazing. I'm really, really fortunate. And that's one of my things I really love, is being a life coach. It blesses me.
That's awesome. So you also have a foundation called the Girl Talk International. Is that a part of, you know, because of the life coach, that you decided to start the foundation?
Well, actually, they do coincide together, because, you know, it's almost another fruit off of the tree. But Girl Talk, again, like you said, it did come out of the same passion. However, it was something I was praying and seeking the Lord on, and he gave it to me at the altar one day. I love when God give me something at the altar. Sometimes he give it to you in the bathroom, you know, sometimes he give it to you on your way to the grocery store. Are you going to get an ice cream? But I was literally praying and seeking the Lord, you know, and at the altar, he gave me Girl Talk. And that was over 11 years ago. Through seeking the Lord, he gave me it's a 501c3 nonprofit organization that has been have been active even through pandemic for 11 years, building, restoring the mind, body, and soul of women. And again, like you said, it came out of the passion of what I had, but that was something separate. You know, even though life coaching, they're kind of coincide, they're separate entities. However, they complement each other. But it's been amazing testimonies through the 11 years of women lives that have been changed, that have been healed through abusive relationships, healed through deep things that, you know, women have gone through. And there's some women out there listening to me now that, you know, Girl Talk International is a place that you need to connect with. I'm telling you, virtually, because it's a place where you can be yourself. It's a place where you can be heard, your burdens, your pains, things that you've gone through. It's a sister village where we really encourage each other. And so virtually has been just as amazing as it has been in the local facility. But we are just excited for the testimonies that will come in 2021. But I want to encourage anyone, if you're interested in Girl Talk International, listen, it's girltalkinternational.com. That is our website. You can come on there. Let us know, look, I want to be a part of this. I need a sister village to be real. Because one thing about Girl Talk, we gonna be real. And I say this all the time to the women, don't ask me to be your life coach if you don't want to hear the truth. Don't come to Girl Talk if you don't want to hear the truth. Because, you know, I just feel like at this time now that we really need to be truthful with each other in the love of God. Don't tear each other down. But if we're going to get healed, we're going to have to get healed the right way. The womb is going to have to get clean. We're going to have to get the gauze. We're going to have to get the right stuff to begin to allow sisters to heal. I am my sister's keeper. That is what we aim for in Girl Talk International.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. So now, exactly where are you located, and what church are you affiliated with?
Okay, well, my husband, who I mentioned, a pastor, I'm very, very proud to say I'm married to a pastor. I don't hear a lot of women say this. I don't know why, but I don't hear a whole lot of people say that, you know, for whatever reason. They want to be married to an NFL player or somebody else. I've always wanted to be married to a minister. I'm very proud to say my husband, Pastor Ronald Wilson, who I've been pastoring along his side, co-laboring and co-pastoring with him for over 22 years. And so our ministry is located 24, I believe I'm right, 40, 20, I'm messing up, 2443. I'm messing it up again. I know it's 2443 West Florida Street, making sure I'm saying the right thing, Greensboro, North Carolina. So
Okay.
this is where our local church facility is at. But
Mhm.
due to pandemic, and I shared that earlier, we don't actually have services in the building right now by choice due to the pandemic. So we do everything virtually. So Kingdom Today GSO is where we are on virtual church. We're live on Facebook. We do Marriage on the Rocks on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then from 12 p.m. we do morning celebration. So yes, I'm really, really excited. And if anyone want to tune in to Kingdom Today, please kingdomtodaygso.com. That is our you can find anything connected with Kingdom Vision. We would absolutely love to have you in virtual church.
Okay, so your church, do you have your Girl Talk International? Do you have a lot of your customer clients from there? Or are they
Yes. So yeah,
talking?
so because we're pastors, we have the majority that is faithful that I consider members of Girl Talk International would come from our local facility. That is the team, and those are the ones that's committed to the call that's on my husband's life as well as my life. But we do have outsiders as well that come in. However, on the commitment level, that's a whole nother story. We know that Jesus fed the multitude, but he had the 12 disciples that were the stable one. That was his team. So, when it comes to team, the center core and the nucleus of Girl Talk International, we have that nice team, that 20, that 30 that's just solid. But the other ones that I would consider the multitude, they come in through virtual, and things of that nature and get blessed. But we have that nucleus team, and I'm so proud and thank God for Girl Talk International and all of the ones that have been committed to the church as well as Girl Talk International.
Okay, so tell us about some of the other projects that you have coming up.
Okay, wonderful. So I know some of you out there may be very familiar with Ben Tankard. Ben Tankard have recently rearranged and produced a song for me. And we are looking forward in the near future for it to come out. And one reason why I say that, because we don't believe in just popping up with a song. A word, there's a scripture that says, and I'm paraphrasing, a word spoken in due season, how good is it? So we could have came out with this song last year, but we want the right song. We want to feel the pulse of God. We want to know that the Lord is saying, this is the time for this song to be dropped. So if it was up to me and my husband, as soon as we received the song for Ben Tankard, we probably would have released it, because we're just so excited about the music and the song and couldn't wait to release it. But now we understand we're on a prophetic timeline. Therefore, we have to wait. So I just want to say, stay tuned and watch the glory of God that will fall and sit on that song right there with Ben Tankard. So stay connected, RachelWilsonMinistries.com and also at Rachel Wilson 44. Those are the social media, social tags. If you need any other information or want to stay, connected with us on a tentative schedule as well, please connect with us and you'll be able to hear more. And then the other song with Michael Mendengal is another one. That was the late Aretha Franklin lead engineer. Her lead engineer was Michael Mendengal, and he's also a multiple songwriter and worked with a lot of gospel artists and famous singers as well. And so God has allowed us to be fortunate for him to write us a song as well. So that will be, again, we're waiting for the right timing for that to come out, but just look forward, and don't forget to go on at Rachel Wilson 44 for all the social media tags to stay connected so that you will know the tentative schedule through 2021 and 2022. I believe this year and next year is going to be a beast. So we're looking forward to great things.
Okay. Now, do you have any plans on touring once the pandemic is over? I mean, we don't know when it's going to be over, but is that like a part of your plan for your ministry?
Absolutely. I've always wanted to go on tour, and believe it or not, I've had I think we did one time we tried to do a little mini tour, but that is really one of my dreams, is to be on tour. And I was actually with Adrian Freeman, who's again the lead singer of Risen. We're signed to their DAF Records. They were literally going on tour in 2020. And I'm assuming they were going to do it on 2021 as well. because they just came back out and they were going to have me do some of their openings. So I was just so excited about them. Like, oh my God, look at this, Lord, you are so amazing. Then the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And I think everybody was like, oh my Lord, what just happened?
Okay.
I was like, no, God. I'm like, 2020 is supposed to be the year. And 2020 was a different type of year, but it was really a blessed year for my husband and my family and our ministry, even though in the midst of it, it was a lot of darkness around. So I'm believing, as you stated briefly, stated that in 2020, 2021, who knows, at the end of 2021, we're believing and hoping that this thing kind of like subside to where we can kind of go back to something that's called a new normal, if you will. And leading into 2022, that I'm believing, even for Risen or myself as well, because I know I'm connected with them, to be able to go on tour. That is something that I would really, really be excited about. But the main thing I think I'm more in ecstatic with would be the timing again, because you don't want to rush anything before the timing. You know, you don't want to pull a cake out before the timing because it's raw in the middle. So I'm like, Lord, however, whatever time it takes to get through this wave or this storm, allow it to take its time until it's over. Allow this thing to go through its full course rather before you do what you do. So I'm looking forward to touring in the near future as well.
Okay, sounds good. So if you could give advice to a up and coming gospel artist, what would it be?
I would definitely want to encourage them on the area of, number one, make sure that this is something the Lord has called you to do. Because just because we're gifted don't mean we're actually called to do all of the other stuff, stage and do all of that. Make sure you know the Lord has called you to do this. And if that is the case, focus more on what he's called you to do and the impact you're called to make rather than the spotlight. Because I think for myself, the thing that threw me off was more so me wanting to sell CDs. I was wanting to be on stage. And what happened is, when I didn't get on stage and when I didn't get the spotlight and when my CDs didn't sell like other people's CDs sold, or I wasn't on radio like other people, it began to make me doubt whether or not God called me to the industry. So I really want them to be better than me starting out. Know that it's the Lord that called you. And if that be the case, work on the reason he called you, because it's going to be a slow process for most of us. I have to be honest, for most people, it's going to take a process. You're not just going to blow up overnight. Your music is not going to just be on the radio. And if it do, that's rare, but you don't just make it overnight. Most gospel artists all have a story to tell you. They've gone through a lot before God really did it in their lives. And so if we want what they have, you got to pay the price. And so I definitely want to just encourage all of the gospel artists that are out there to listen, hold on, don't quit. If you put God first and know that it's going to be a process, you'll be okay, and have the right purpose, have the right motive is what that's the word I'm trying to say. Keep the right motive in what you're doing, that you'll be okay with what God has called you to do.
That's great. And thank you so much for sharing your story. I hear the baby.
Oh, yes. You hear him? Oh, yes. He's making some noise now. I'm sorry.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. But thank you so much for sharing your story. I really enjoyed it. We're looking forward to the record coming out. Anything. We're looking forward to that. And like you said, everybody can go to your social media to find out when it's going to drop. And we wish you the best of luck with everything. And I really enjoyed it was awesome. Really enjoyed it. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Facebook Live, for joining us. And on Wednesday, we're going to have Dr. K and Edie Martinelli talk about the vaccination. Oh, there's the baby. We're going to be doing an update on the vaccination and how media is going on. So please join us on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Facebook Live for our talk show. And just remember, everything you heard and everything we said was our point of view and up close and personal. We'll see you next time.